Shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. First and foremost, we want to give all praises to Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi, Barak Yahawah, Barak Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash. Name of the Heavenly Father, who everybody ignorantly calls God. His true name is Yahawah. Bahasham means in the name of. This is all in the ancient Hebrew. And Yahawashi is the Holy One of Israel, who everybody ignorantly calls Jesus Christ, who is from the tribe of Judah, a so-called Negro, who was slain at the foundations of the earth for the salvation of Israel. But only for the elect on this side. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. Always want to give double honors to the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, who led me to this truth and been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, is be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 42. The waterfall used to sincere believers coming in on the comment board. Yahawah Bahasham, Yahawashi Bahasham, Rawchaa, Qadash, Barakatham. So all y'all out there. And my elder, he sent me a little video yesterday, dealing with a certain lineage. And we want to deal with this this parable of the wheat and the tares, concerning Matthew chapter 13. So we're going to break that down because you've got these certain Israelites who think that every Israelite is just going to look like a so-called Negro, Latino, or Native American. And that's not true. Some of us look like Edomites. Some of us look like Chinese, which is Moab in the Bible. Edomites are the so-called white man. Some of us look like, Hamites, so-called Africans, but it's from the seed line of your father. So, the father could have slept with a woman from Moab and had a baby that looked like a Chinese baby, but that's still Jake. So we're going to break that down. And the title is The Parable of the Wheat and the Tares. And we're going to talk about the Mowtown founder, and his lineage, and President Obama. They're all Edomites. They're not us. So we're going to prove that today. So Lord willing, is edifying to the flock. First, before we get into that, want to go into this lesson. It was a sit down. The Elder Manakta Zakba, GMS South Carolina 08, he did a video kind of concerning this. Okay, and I was listening to it, and he was, that's what he was talking about. So, I'm gonna kind of just land back off this as well, concerning also the thing that my elder sent me. And then Lord willing, I can do another video. It was a guy, he made this video called The Great Reset, right? And we know the World Economic Forum is all going into that. So we might deal with that before I go to the plantation, Lord willing, after I do this video. But, as I was saying, Lord willing is edifying to the flock. We're going to go ahead and get into it. And this is the Elder Manakta Zakba. If you haven't subscribed to him, you need to go subscribe to him. This is one of our leaders. Our elders and apostles taught us everything we know. We didn't learn this on our own. We got this wisdom from very wise men, and we can listen to a little bit what he's gonna say, and then we're gonna get into it, because all I'm gonna do is go on to chapter 13. So let's hear a little bit what he said.
All right, let's get ready to bring it out. All right, shalom out there, everybody, brothers and sisters alike. All right, all praise to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Double honor to the apostles and elders of Great Millstone. All right, this video is going to be entitled "The Melanin Demon, Ignore It." The melanin demon, ignore it. And right now, people are, every so often we go through a cycle throughout the year where all black only Israelites pop up. People that want to say a person is only Israelite, they're this shade over here, this color right here. Only black people are Israelites. And that's just not true. There's no way possible you can prove that. And there are many different shades of brown, and all brown people don't come from the Israelites. How are you going to differentiate between the people on the continent of Africa, the land of Ham, the Hamites, and the Israelites, which are two different bloodlines? So, I mean, that alone proves that. But going forward into it, let's just go into the scriptures. You have to ignore this whole thing with melanin, because Jake, they on that, that black kick, black. And that's just a spirit. It's a spirit. It's the easy button, remedial level Israelites who think that you're going to be able to identify people by their shade of skin. That's the only identifying factor. No. Israelites look like every nation under heaven, and that's in the Bible. It's supported by scriptures. Okay, the original Israelites were people of color. Sure, they were brown, dark brown, and all these different, shades or whatever, which you would describe as so-called black. But now, being that we were exiled in every nation under heaven, how would we look coming back to the Lord? How would we look coming back from all those nations? You can read Acts chapter 2. We may get a chance to read it. Acts chapter 2, around about 5, maybe on down. It describes all these different nations. And Jake loved to put another thing they love to say is an Afro. You got to be an Afro-European, an Afro this, Afro that. That ain't in the Bible. Hair texture does not prove anything. You have so-called white people, right, that are their fathers are Edomites. The fathers go back to Esau. Their mothers might go back to the Israelites, and they got afros, or they have that texture hair that's as of wool, So you can't get caught into that carnality, that low level, like I like to call the easy button. Jake love easy button shit where they can just say, "Oh, he black, he Israelite," or that person is white, they're Edomite or whatever. No, you got Edomites that look like everything too, because they see among the people. And now you can't tell. You got Arab-looking Edomites. You got your regular, cracker Edomites. You got black Edomites, brown-looking, whatever. So you look like you even got so-called Chinese-looking Edomites. What would an Edomite look like if he went and slept with a lady from China? Their child come out looking kind of brown, got the slanted eyes, but they're damn Edomites. So you just don't understand the Bible. That's really all it is. And another lie that they're telling now, they're saying that we saying with the 12 tribe sign, one of their objections is that we saying that a person is an Israelite based off what region of the world they come from. No, you misunderstand. We know the Israelites are scattered into a general area, but we don't say every person from that land is an Israelite, because what happens when, well, like we always tell you that, what about in Jamaica? In Jamaica, you have the people of the tribe of Benjamin that was scattered in that region, but you got white people that live there too, or other nations that live among them. They ain't from the tribe of Benjamin. See, so you have to understand what's being said. So many people are so ready to try to explain away what we teaching because they're unbelievers, really. They haven't considered what we're saying. The tribes were sitting into that specific area, and that's why we go into the scriptures and we start doing what? Let's read. This is 1 John 4, verse 1. Beloved, believe not every spirit, but try the spirits, whether they're of the Most High, because many false prophets are gone out into the world. And right now, with all these different Israelites and different Israelite groups, a little different, weird Israelites popping over here, and over there, you got a bunch of false prophets. The only ones teaching the real truth are the ones that were sent by the Heavenly Father with the Holy Spirit.
So that's all I want to cut out for right there so far. He made all the points, that basically going to go into what we're going to go into with Matthew chapter 13. Now, there's another precept that was on the comment board over here, and it's Jeremiah chapter 12, verse 9. A couple brothers posted it, and it says, "My heritage is unto me as a speckled bird," right? And that means like all shades of brown. So not all the 12 tribes just straight look like a so-called Negro. Some of us look like, Latinos, so-called Latinos. Some of us look like so-called Native Americans, but it's depending on who your father is. That's your seed line, your lineage. And we're going to go back and show you that President Obama, all them are Edomites, man. They all go back to Esau, Edom. That's why they act like Esau, Edom, That's why he was the president. That's why they allowed him to be president. They're all like, oh, they let Jake be a president. He's not Jake. He's not us. You see, he goes back to the lineage of like these dukes of Edom. We're going to show that. But anyways, my heritage unto me is a speckled bird. The birds round about are against her. It's talking about these other nations coming against Israelites. It says, come ye, assemble all the beasts of the field, come to devour. That's what it's talking about. Everybody in the world is against the nation of Israel. And wherever we're at, scattered across the four corners of the earth, it says that there shall be other nations among us. Everywhere we go. That was part of the curses. Wherever Jake is, there's going to be other nations there. There's never just going to be just all Jake there. We don't have a dwelling place. We were scattered. We've been divided. And we're coming back through the spirit. So you have to test the spirits. Like if this doesn't resonate with you, then you more than likely you're not Jake. You see what I'm saying? And you're not let alone have to resonate with it. You have to endure to the end. So we're going to get over here and we're going to do the first little part going in. Well, let's read chapter 13 and then we're going to go into some videos. So this is Matthew chapter 13 and it reads, the same day when Yahawashi out of the house and sat by the seaside, right? And great multitudes were gathered together unto him, so that he went to a ship and sat, and the whole multitude stood on the shore. Okay. So they were listening to him while he's teaching. They're on the shore and he's out there teaching. And he spake many things unto them in parables, right? Like a riddle. So you can't just read the Bible and just be like, oh, it says Jesus. It's a riddle, because J's wasn't invented until 1542. You got to put puzzle pieces together through the spirit. But you also have to have teachers as well, or you're going to get lost. So it spake many things unto them in parables, saying, behold, a sower went forth to sow. And when he sowed, some seeds fell by the wayside, and the fowls came and devoured them up. That's talking about in this specific passage. This is talking about 2/3 of our people, of Israel. They the Lord, they came out, they were Israelites, but in some place they didn't believe in the truth. So they fell, they got judged. That's what's going to happen to them. So like the fowls came and devoured them up. Some fell upon stony places where they had not much earth. And forthwith they sprung up because they had no depthness of earth. And when the sun was up, they were scorched because they had no root. They withered away. See, they didn't have this truth. They didn't have this understanding, you know. And some fell among the thorns, and the thorns sprung up and choked them. Also talking about the 2/3. But other fell unto good ground. Who's that? That's the elect. We have this foundation of Yahawah, Yahawashi, you know. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi. We have that foundation, you know. So, but the other fell into good ground and brought forth fruit, which is what? Doctrine or believers, you know, because your doctrine is supposed to bring in people to believe, you see. And you not really bringing them in. You're just shedding light to the believers. The Lord is the one who draws you in, because he said nobody comes to the Father but by me, you know. So we can't understand the Father unless the Lord say, all right, I want you to believe this and go with it, you know. So we're really not doing that part of the work. We're just teaching, and the Lord's guiding the flock. He's the one, he's the shepherd. He's guiding us to do what? Do the work, you know. So some brought forth fruit, and brought forth fruit, some in 100-fold, some 60-fold, some 30-fold. So some brothers bring in more than others. That don't mean that they ain't as important, but that's just how the Lord set it up. Some brothers, he gonna have it where they do more, you know. That's their portion in this ministry. So who have ears to hear, let him hear. See, talking about spiritually. You know, if you're an Edomite, you're not going to hear what we're saying. You know, you're not going to hear it, and you're not going to stick with it to the end. You know, you're either going to be one of them, a heathen, or you're going to be 2/3 of Israel, because they're a type of tear. They're like a spiritual tear because they act like the heathens, and then the tares are the ones that the other nations have slept with other people and mated with them, you know, and they look like other nations, but they still heathens. Okay, so in verse 10. And the disciples came and said unto him, why speakest thou unto them in parables? Right? Just like we're doing today. Right? And he answered and said unto them, because it is given unto you to know the mysteries of the kingdom of heaven. You see, it's a mystery. It ain't just something everybody can know. It's a mystery that was given to certain men to be able to break this down. You see? So mysteries of the kingdom of heaven, but to them it is not given. So the Lord didn't give everybody the mysteries. Only a certain amount of people got it. Verse 12, for whosoever hath, to him shall be given. To him shall be given, and he shall have more abundance. But whosoever hath not, from him it shall be taken away, even that he hath. You see? So everybody who basically doesn't have this truth, everything you have is going to come to naught. Everything you have is going to be taken away. You know, especially the ones who know they're Israelites and they don't want to get in order with the doctrine. Okay. So verse 13, therefore speak I to them in parables, because they seeing see not, and hearing they hear not, neither do they understand. Who's that? The wicked. They don't understand. And that's both sides of the tares, the spiritual tares and the physical ones, you know. Just like we said, the spiritual tares is the 2/3. It said in Daniel chapter 12, verse 10, It said that the wise shall understand, but the wicked will understand. You know, the wicked are not going to understand. You know, this is continuing. Yahawashi is still speaking, and in them is fulfilled the prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, okay, by hearing he shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing he shall not see, and shall not perceive. Right, and then I want to go do this. Pretty sure Isaiah is talking about Isaiah, but I wanna double check, because it could be talking about Jeremiah, but I think it's talking about Isaiah. I want to double check. It's been a while since I went to Matthew. So Matthew, but I remember what it's saying, you know. So Matthew, because we go over a lot of things, you know. Matthew chapter 13, I think we like at verse like 10. Yeah, somewhere around there. I'll find it. I'm gonna go to concordance, blue letter. Yeah, verse 14. Right? Go down here, prophecy of Isaiah or Isaias. I'm pretty sure it's talking about Isaiah. Yeah, Isaiah, which is talking about Yahawah, that his name.
68, Esaias.
Okay. And it basically his name means Yahweh's help. You know, he was one of the people who the Lord, one of the men he called to do what? You know, prophesy. You know, one of the major prophets. You know, that's why the book of Isaiah is so big. Okay. So that was part of that prophecy being fulfilled. He said they ain't gonna hear, they're not gonna understand, right? So we'll keep going. So prophecy of Isaiah, which saith, by hearing ye shall hear, and shall not understand, and seeing ye shall see, and shall not perceive. See, we're not gonna understand what we're really saying, and that's why we are to test the spirits. We can't just test you off your skin color. We have to like really see if you can believe, you know, and stick with it. Verse 15, for the people's heart, which is their mind, la'ab means heart. So their mind is what? Waxed gross, waxed gross, and their ears are dull of hearing, and their eyes they have closed. But that's because the Lord what? He didn't want them to understand, because he said that it's not given to them. You know, lest any time they should see with their eyes and hear with their ears and should understand with their heart, which is their mind, la'ab, it's talking about your mind, you know, and should be converted, and I should heal them, right? Because we're being healed with this word. We're being understood that we're Israelites. We were scattered. We were cursed. We were put under the curses, you know, but the Lord is going to redeem us, you know, from this trouble coming, Jacob's trouble. Jeremiah chapter 30, verse 7, it's going to be a time that's, you know, the most horrible time ever. You know, it's going to be so much death. There's never going to be war again after this, you know, and World War III is a part of that. You know, it's the final war, the battle of Armageddon. That's what we're seeing on the news. That's what's going down. That's how we know we're close to the end. That's one way we know. You know, another one is like, you know, it's going to be like negative 27 degrees in some places, you know, all over America. There's another way to know too. The Lord's doing real unordinary things that he wasn't doing in the past. You know, he's bringing certain scourges to show you that the end is near. So, but blessed are your eyes, for they see, and your ears, for they hear, right? Why? Because the Lord wanted you to get it, not because of you. It has nothing to do with you. Verse 17, for verily I say unto you that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things which ye see. What's that? That we in the end times, you know? And really, to be honest, those same righteous men who desired to see those things are here today seeing them. That's why I said in Revelation, the Lord said, my reward is with me. I will come quickly. So, but how are they going to get a reward if they're not here? They have to be here to get rewarded, to be saved. You can't get saved if you're already in heaven. That's just paradise. You have to come down here to get saved from what? Wickedness, destruction. So they have to be down here to get that, you know, but they didn't last time. They died here, you know, in the faith. But this time they're going to get saved out of it. You know, Lord willing, you know, we are that number, those righteous men, and then the women and children who are following them, right? So, and that many prophets and righteous men have desired to see those things, to see those things which ye see and have not seen them, and to hear those things which ye hear and have not heard them, right? Verse 18, hear ye therefore the parable of the sower, right? Go back. So we're going to go into this. Verse 19, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, right? And understandeth it not, then come the wicked one and catcheth away that which was sown in his heart, which is his mind, right? This is he which receives seed by the wayside, okay? And what this is saying is, when we teach you this doctrine, if we tell you something, if the Lord don't want you to get it, the Lord's going to send Satan and he's going to make you not believe it. He's just going to pull it out of you. You know, he's like, nope, I don't want them. Nope, make them not believe it. You can do whatever you got to do, because Satan works for the Lord. He doesn't work for himself. You know, Proverbs chapter 11, verse 1 says a false balance is an abomination to the Lord. Shalom, big bro. Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash, Barak. The water for tuning in. GMS in his likeness. Y'all haven't, subscribe, tune in, man. He's always got a lot of inspirational videos, keeping everybody's faith strong, that he's real good at that. I like watching his videos, especially when I'm having a hard day, This is what you need your big brothers for, man. They always know how to keep your spirit strong, So, anyways, getting back to the parable, right? It says, when anyone heareth the word of the kingdom and understandeth it not, then cometh the wicked one and casteth away that which was sown in his heart, which is his mind. This is he which received the seed by the wayside, right? But he that received the seed unto the stony places, the same is he that heareth the word, and anon with joy receive it. That's talking about the elect. They're going to receive this word and be like, man, this is it. But 2/3 of our people are going to be like, nah, I'm not feeling that. In the other nations, they're never going to receive it. It was never meant for them to even, they're not even supposed to touch it. It's not for them, So, yet he have not root in himself. That's why you got to get rooted in this truth. You got to know what you're doing. Like, you got to count the cost and dive into this thing. You got to get deep in this thing, So, because if not, this is what's going to happen. He have not root in himself, but endureth for a while, right? That's what most people do. For when tribulation or persecution arises because of the word, by and by he is offended. And you don't want to be offended, because the Lord said that this is part of the trial. He said, don't think as this is a strange trial. When you start coming to the Lord, you start getting afflicted, you start getting tested. Satan told Peter that he wanted Satan told the Lord he wanted to sift us as wheat. Okay, he's going to try to find a way to overthrow your faith. So when you get in this thing, Satan's going to start trying to get you. You see, and that's why we got to be rooted in this thing. So we be like, nah, I know that's Satan attacking me. You do prayers and whatnot and rebuke him, and keep moving. But and let's go with this. Let's go with this before we keep going. Big brother posting some precepts. This is GMS in his likeness. Proverbs chapter 11, verse 31. Behold, the righteous shall be recompensed in the earth, right? We're going to get a reward for what we're doing, much more the wicked and the sinner. So they're going to get a reward too. And it's going to be a reward of judgment, destruction, for their wickedness. This is Matthew chapter 11, verse 6. And blessed is he whosoever shall not be offended in me. See, we don't want to be offended when the Lord starts testing us, and you're going to get tested, often, it'll be like he'll test you and then give you time to take a little break and prepare yourself and then test you. Because why? Because he's getting you ready for Jacob's trouble. He's getting you ready for when stuff really hits the fan, you're ready, So verse 22, he also that receives seed among the thorns is he that heareth the word, right? And the care of this world and the deceitfulness of riches choke the word, and he becometh unfruitful. See, so he's not going to get rooted in this thing. Most people who are rich are not going to get rooted in this thing. You see, that's why the Lord said, "What the meek shall inherit the earth," because we're the ones who are drawn towards the Lord. Because everything else here, it's not satisfying us. That's why we're not out here just like killing ourselves for the bag. We hate it here. So this is our comfort. This is what brings us comfort. This is what we focus on, So verse 23, but he that receives seed unto the good ground, right? This good ground is the right doctrine, the doctrine of Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, right? Is he that heareth the word and understandeth it, right? Which also beareth fruit and bringeth forth some 100-fold, some 60, some 30. And that's us young brothers like me coming in. We heard what the big brothers told us and how to teach the word, how to be moving in the world. And we're out here doing what? Doing our best to bring forth fruit. But the Lord's the one who's going to bring them forth. So we don't worry about that part. We just do the work. He's going to do the rest. we have faith that he will, and he's been doing it. You know, verse 24, another parable put he forth unto them, saying, the kingdom of heaven is likened unto a man which sowed good seed in his field, right? Talking about basically Israelites. You know, Jake, bring more Jake. He said to be fruitful and multiply. That's what we did, you know. He even said for a time he saw Edom was wroth with us. He's like, man, they motherfuckers have babies, man. Like, you know, we're Jake, you know. But verse 25, this is my point right here. But while men slept, his enemy came and sowed tares among the wheat and went his way. That's what we coming into, right? This tares, right? But when the blade was sprung up and brought forth fruit, then appeared the tares also. Okay? The tares are talking about, there's two different types of tares. There's the spiritual tares, which is 2/3 of our people, you know, who basically act like Esau, Edom, so-called white man, and the heathens. And then you have the actual tares that's like came out of their seed line, like the Edomites, the seed line of them. And that's who we're going to talk about today. But I'm gonna go just to verse 30, and then we're gonna go into these videos. We're gonna close out. So, but I wanted to go into the scriptures first before we show the videos. You know, we like get into the scriptures first, for the most part. So, verse 27. So the servants of the householder came and said unto him, Sir, didst not thou sow good seed into thy field? From whence then hath it tares? And he said unto them, an enemy have done this. Right? Esau, Edom, so-called white man, is the number one enemy of Jacob, his brother, his evil twin brother, basically, his evil brother. You know, but Jacob was to get the blessing. That's why Esau, Edom, the so-called white man, hated Jacob. That's why so-called white men, they hated the so-called black man. They still do to this day. They just act real secret with it now. You know, but everybody knows this place is built off racism. They know they hate us. They can't live without us. They want us to work for them because they get, you know, they're not going to make no bread. Because Jake is the biggest consumers on the planet, you know. So, because it says we're a number greater than the sands of the sea. We look like so many different people. Because if they knew we were all so-called black people, if they knew that, they would have just killed us all off. We would have been through. That's why the Lord did that. So, anyways, he said unto them, an enemy have done this. The servant said unto him, wilt thou then that we go and gather them up? But he said, nay, lest while ye gather up the tares, ye root up also the wheat with them. So what did the Lord say do? He said, let them grow together until the harvest. What's the harvest? Salvation, being saved from this destruction. Okay, so the tares are just out here doing whatever, and we're doing what the Lord wants us to do. You see, we're all growing together. We're mixed in between each other, right? And in the time of the harvest, I will say to the reapers, gather ye first the tares, right? And bind them in bundles to burn them with what? The missiles, the intercontinental ballistic missiles coming from the east. That's what he's going to burn them with. Okay? 2/3 of our people and everybody else, you know? That's why Esau Edom is what? He's buying all these bunkers and selling these private bunkers and opening these bunker lists because he knows these missiles is coming. Okay? But gather the wheat into my barn. Right? And what's the barn? The chariots, the so-called UFOs. He's going to gather us in those. We're going to go up in those chariots. You know, Lord willing, we have that number, right? Because we don't know. It depends on who endures to the end. Nobody knows who the elect is, but we know who's putting on the image of them. It's the elders and apostles of Great Millstone, you know, and the big brothers. So we follow them because they're the only ones proving that they love the Lord. So that's what we're going to go into. So we get over here. I actually seen this when I was a lot younger, okay? And I can't remember when it was, but I was a lot younger. But this shows that Obama goes back to King John of England, one of the dukes of Esau, Edom, the so-called white man. There's a little 12-year-old girl. She's going to deal with this a little bit. And then we're going to go into the other video concerning the founder of Mowtown. All of them are Edomites, and we're going to show you some of the people in that seed line who you would have thought was not Edomites, and they are. So we're going to show you.
It's a great things for history.
George Washington, Thomas Jefferson, William Howard Taft, and President Barack Obama. One young girl traced them all back to one common ancestor.
They're all cousins and all grandsons of John Lackland.
It's the first family tree of its kind. Pouring through more than 500,000 names for months, 12-year-old Bridge Ann d'Avignon discovered that all the U.S. presidents, except Martin Van Buren, are related to the former King of England, John Lackland Plantagenet, signer of the Magna Carta in 1215.
Mildred Reed is his first great-grandmother on George Washington. And on Obama, Mildred Reed is the 10th great-grandmother.
See? He's an Edomite. He's not one of us.
Started as an assignment to research her own lineage, tracing it back to roots in France. But Bridge Ann wanted to branch out.
Well, I think we just all go back somewhere. It's just a matter of proving it.
She started with George Washington, but unlike other professional genealogists that only looked at the male family lines, Bridge Ann was able to link the presidents together using both male and female ancestry. Before this, historians had only been able to link 22 family trees.
See?
Kind of created a train.
See? So the Lord put the spirit on that little girl to do that. Like, that has to be the Lord. She was 12 years old, and they said that they couldn't find nothing but 22, okay, of those relations, you know. But after she started, like, you know, going into the mothers and whatnot, you know, she was able to figure out where they went, but she used the males. They were all males. You know, it goes back to the father. That's how she found them. You see? And it goes all the way back to Barack Obama. That's why he act like Edomite. That's why they made him president, because he's cousins to Esau. You see? He's related. That's his bloodline. You see? So we're going to stop that one right there. You know, her father's like, I'm so proud. We're going to find out when you go in slavery. Moving on. So we're going to go to this next one. Look at this. Before we even get started in it, look at this. James T. Gordy up at the top, right? Right here. Let me zoom it in on my screen if I can. I don't know if it can. Hold on. No, it won't let me do it. But over here, right here, in this top left corner, you know, I might put this in the comment board. This is what my elder sent me yesterday. James T. Gordy, that's an Edomite, man. Because you see Harriet Helms, but when you come down here, James J. Gordy, Lily Gordy, Jimmy Carter, president. And what did we just find out about all the presidents? They all go back to what? The King of England and whatnot. So that's how we know everybody on this family line are Edomites. You see? Because that's Esther Johnson, right? James T. Gordy, Esther Johnson, Barry Gordy. All this stuff go back. And some of these people look like Jake, and they're not. You see? They're not Jake. Marvin Gaye's in there. Who else in there? Diana Ross, Rockwell, Sky Blue, Marvin Gaye's in there, Beyonce, Michael Jackson. These are all Edomites, man. And they look like Jake. See?
LMFAO and President Jimmy Carter. But the central figure on this family tree is a man named Berry Gordy III. He founded Mowtown Records in 1959, and from there built a music empire that continues to have a major impact on pop music and culture around the world today.
There you go. You didn't have to get too much into it. Those are all Edomites, man. They're not Jake. You know, everybody on that list is going into slavery. So that's why we don't just say, just because you look like us, this doesn't mean you're of us. We got to test your spirit. And sometimes the Lord will just find you out You know, I'll put in one more precept and then we gone. This is what the Lord's doing right now. They're all descendants of Jimmy Carter. Okay, they're Edomites. They're through. You know, this is gonna do this and then we're gonna close out. It's been a while since I did this precept. Let me pull it up. There it goes. Jeremiah chapter 49, verse 10. And it reads, but I have made Esau bare. I have uncovered his secret places. See, you tried to make all Jake think Mowtown was like something for Jake. And it wasn't. It was never for us. You see? Right? I have uncovered his secret places, and he shall not be able to hide himself. His seed is spoiled, and his brethren, and his neighbors, like what? Cousins, stuff like that, you know? And then neighbors also talking about the other heathen nations as well. But, you know, they're not going to get destroyed forever. You know, they're not going to get destroyed after 1,000 years of slavery. Esau Edom's going to get destroyed completely, like rooted out forever, cut off from the breath of life. You know, the Lord's going to remove his spirit from these people, you know? So, and his neighbors, and he is not. Why does it say he is not? Because he's through. He's not going to exist no more. According to Obadiah, chapter 1, he said the Lord has spoken it. He said they shall be cut off forever. That's it. Because it says in Wisdom of Solomon, chapter 12, verse 1, his incorruptible spirit is in all things. He can just take his spirit from you and put it back in him and give it to another heathen. You through forever. So before you go around just being like, oh, that's Jake, just because we look like so-called Negro, but test the spirits first, Jake. Because everybody thought Michael Jackson and Obama, all of them was like one of us, and they're not. So shalom to the elect of Israel, to the hopeful elect of Israel, you Hebrew Israelites, you so-called Negroes, Latinos, Native Americans, West Indians, and Haitians, and the foreign Israelites that look like the other nations scattered across the four corners of the earth. I want to give all praises to Barak, Yahawah, Yahawashi. Barak, Yahawah, Yahawashi. Got to give all praises to Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. Want to give double honors to the elders and apostles. Great millstone led me to this truth. Been ordained by the Lord to teach the flock how to live, repent, pray, fast, and show forth the Lord's righteousness and mercy, judgment, forgiveness, and wrath to all those who are part of the elect and to the hopeful elect. Lord willing, we part of that number. Lord willing, let's be edifying to those who fear the name of the Lord and are striving to show forth the Lord's righteousness every day to the best of their abilities. His judgment always comes to light. Zephaniah chapter 3, verse 5, it is not slack. 2 Peter chapter 3, verse 9 is unto a ring. 2 Peter chapter 5, verse 42. Above, the waterfall, y'all tune in. You beloved brothers and sisters out there, you believers in Yahawah, Yahawashi, Yahawah, Bahasham, Yahawashi, Bahasham, Qadash. The water for your precepts, big bro, always been a help. You know, Lord willing, we make it out of here, and Lord willing, we'll be able to make some more edifying videos for Jacob's trouble and exalt the name Yahawah, Yahawashi yet another day if we get one. Peace and blessing to the elect. Kwam Yasharala. Shalom.